How's everyone doing?
How we doing? That's what we call flying by the seat of our pants right there. That's what we do here. That's why people are here. They don't like the prepared stuff. They like it raw, the raw emotion of it all. Coastal Carolina, dude, it's different down there.
It is different down here.
It's different. The breeze moves different down there.
Yeah, dog. You got two beaches surrounded you, and shit gets wild.
You never know what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we have another week. This week, not as successful for me as last week. Early morning window didn't go, or not early morning, but like the afternoon window, early afternoon window to be specific. Looked like it was going well in the first quarter, and then everything went to shit in the rest of the game, which is what matters. So, yeah.
Decent week for me. Decent week. Caught up a little bit to you. I think I finished the week 8-5, and you were 6-7, something like that.
Damn.
So you pulled it back late. You pulled it back later in the games.
It is what it is. Yeah, I was let down early. Specifically by the Ravens, and that loss in the early morning window, I keep saying that, early afternoon window, and then Houston ended up screwing me. Houston is bound, like they are determined to screw me no matter what I do. If I pick them, they lose. If I pick against them, they win. Like they don't care. They're just assholes.
Quick upset alert. Quick upset alert. They're losing to the Cardinals this week. That's my quick upset alert. But
with Kyler, we're giving away our pick'ems before the pick'em episode.
That was that's just my hot take. Tossing it out there.
You're just your sneak peek. I could see it because this is like the first week where I feel like people were like putting them in playoff scenarios.
Yeah. Exactly.
So like
expectations.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the expectations are now set. It would only be right for a letdown. But CJ, it shows you like how weak the MVP debate is right now because like there's obviously a legit argument for him. There's a legit argument developing, and you hate that this probably will not age well. But there's a legit argument right now for Sam Howell.
Sam Howell.
Yeah.
There he goes.
I'm not even arguing.
Passing yards.
Yeah. And but it doesn't, I mean, he's having a good season, but it also speaks to just the level, whether it's more parity or whether it's just bad football that we're seeing right now. Because Pat Mahomes isn't really having a strong year. Josh Allen is having a horrendous year. And then
it's kind of funny.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the Carson Wentz trail is what I'm seeing right now. The only difference to me is with Carson Wentz, you saw for years, is that people were making excuses for Carson Wentz. They're like, well, he doesn't have good receivers. Mm-hmm. Well, they're all dropping all his passes. And with Allen, you feel he's having, when you see a quarterback who's having a lot of these like extreme abnormalities, like I saw something where his throws that were like basically every single chance he has for a turnover, like his turnover probability numbers are like insane. Like every single pass that he throws that's turnover worthy is a turnover, which is like very rare. Like when they do have a chance to turn it over, it is a turnover instead of like a drop or something like that, which is crazy because like any kind of deflected pass or anything, it just ends up being a turnover. So that you feel like that'll eventually kind of even out. Firing Ken Dorsey was a wild card move.
That was just like overreacting and trying to like say you did something, but like Ken Dorsey clearly was not the issue. The turnovers, like you're saying, are the issue for that team. And the fact that they turned the ball over early in games. Like, I think against the Patriots, they came out first drive, threw an interception, gave the Patriots hope. And this game against the Broncos, they come out, fumble first drive. And now the Broncos are like, hey, we can win this game. You're letting these bad teams think they can win the game on these early drives. If you just if you save those, I feel like for like in the second half, you're probably not worried anymore, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's one of those like turning it over in pivotal situations And
Yeah.
James Cook should have had another fumble. He was very lucky. I don't know if you saw that, where the ball literally dribbled off and like right back to him. So yeah, I mean, they're just not playing smart, and it's like one of those things where I feel like they're panicking. Like the Bills right now are panicking because they feel like they're the team for the past 5 years now or so. It has been 3 powerhouses in the AFC. It's been Kansas City, Cincinnati, Buffalo. Cincinnati's gone to a Super Bowl and exceeded expectations, honestly, for their first few years. Kansas City's obviously won 2 Super Bowls, and Buffalo hasn't even won an AFC championship game. So it's like kind of, I feel like they are panicking, like, why are we not getting there? And this year has looked really bad because I feel like Josh Allen is like pressing the ball down the field constantly. He's also just not seeing the field well. He's like forcing passes in. And offensively, I think their talent has kind of been exposed a little bit. I don't think they have the offensive like firepower that they really thought they had at the beginning of the year. Dalton Kincaid's turned into a pretty good player, but like Gabe Davis, I think he is like your definition of like a number 2 receiver now. Like he kind of popped off there early, but now he is like kind of just faded into the background. And Stephon Diggs
could make an argument that he's not above like a number 3 receiver, kind of.
Yeah, it depends on the team. Like, does he even make the roster in Philadelphia?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he would, but it was, it's, yeah, and Diggs is not happy. I think he's going to be a Houston Texan next year. That's my call.
Houston, you think he's going to jump ship like that, like all the way to Houston? If he's going to go for titles, he's going to Kansas City. They got no receivers.
He could do that, yeah. But I don't know if they would trade him to Kansas City. That's the only thing.
Yeah, that's true.
I could see him, because I think Houston has the artillery to kind of, they have the assets to trade for him. I don't know if Kansas City had it. What are you laughing at?
Send him to Carolina for their next 2 first-round picks.
That isn't it. When you look at that trade, like upon reflection, Carolina, like David Tepper should be forced to sell the team. Like knowing the QB class that was coming up this year, and you decided to fucking trade everything for Bryce Young, who is very clearly now turned out to not be the best quarterback in that draft so far. Yeah, they're in a really tough situation, and kind of feel bad for Frank Reich.
To Bryce Young for like at least 3 years, because I did say he would be the best quarterback in the class. I'm looking like an idiot, but I'll give him time.
Yeah, it's not,
right now,
rookie.
He looks like dog shit.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, rookie, QBs, it's always a crapshoot as far as their rookie year, how it goes. And, you could see a big jump from him next year. You never know. But it's not looking too great right now for him.
No, CJ Stroud, I'm saying he is my MVP right now. That dude is playing out of his mind. The best football, I think, by any quarterback, really, so far. Just turnovers, just complete game-wise. Turnovers-wise, yardage-wise, like this dude, touchdowns, is doing it all.
Yeah, he's elevating like everybody around him too, which is kind of important. Like he's got
exactly.
Noah Brown is like he has 2 150-yard receiving games in a row or something like that. It's some insane stat. And he was like
the only quarterback I'm giving the reward to so far this year. No other quarterback has been like, oh, they're elevating their team like this guy has. If anyone else, I'm giving it to like Myles Garrett or TJ Watt after him.
Myles Garrett might be the best player in football right now.
Yeah,
but he's getting to that Aaron Donald level.
I can't fully commit. TJ's the best.
He's better than TJ. He's better than TJ Watt. He is. No, he's got the size. He's more athletic than TJ Watt. Like he's just, he's ridiculous.
He can play more defensive line positions than TJ Watt. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
But TJ Watt, if I need one person to sack the quarterback on this world, I'm taking TJ. Or get a big play on defense, I'm taking TJ. He'll lurk quarterback sometimes. I haven't seen Miles did a lurk.
He ain't lurking. He did do that crossover move, the first week of the year or whatever.
Yeah, dog. But like really, that crossover move, the dumbest shit ever. Like, what the fuck does that do?
Feels like
It's just
going up
styling on someone.
I know. Yeah, how about and Deshaun Watson was like, and for my last trick, I'll be out for the season.
I'm gone. Wildest time.
That's correct. Only the Browns. Only the Browns would have like the biggest win in the past like 3 years for them, besides that playoff win. And then it's just like, he's out for the year. Get ready for the PJ Walker show.
Though, I didn't realize how easy their schedule is. Like they could reasonably still make the playoffs, because if you take a look at what fucking Watson has done, he really hasn't done anything special. Like,
no, in fact, last
game manager at most.
Yeah, the second half of last week was like the only time that he has looked competent. And like that last drive, he was nails. Like, he was absolutely incredible for him. He was making huge throw after huge throw. Yeah, I could definitely see them. I mean, that defense is enough to. They're kind of on that same Steelers road where it's like the defense can bring them wherever they need them to go. But yeah, man, worst contract in football, fully guaranteed deal.
Yeah,
he's played like 7 games.
It's been terrible for the Browns. It's Pittsburgh, Denver, Rams, Jacksonville, Chicago, Houston, the Jets, and then Cincinnati. Can
you hear the vacuum?
You could. Yeah, you can a little bit, but it's all good. but they could reasonably win. I would say every game, but I mean I'm giving them a loss to my Steelers, of course.
And Denver is not an easy win anymore. Denver's really kind of fun. I mean, don't get me wrong. Buffalo did everything they could to lose that game. But Denver's not as easy of a win as they used to be.
Even if they lose 4 of these games, like, so let's say they lose to the Steelers, Jacksonville, Houston, and Cincinnati. Those are the games I see them most likely to lose. They're still finishing 10-7, which could, tiebreaker wise, I know there might be a 10-7 team that misses the playoff, but tiebreaker wise, I think the Browns are pretty set up well.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely could. Like, that win against Baltimore is huge for them. Especially now.
Also, huge week in the AFC North this week, because you got Cincinnati at Baltimore tomorrow night for Thursday night football. And
should we do our pick 'em for that game?
Yeah, we can. Just give me one more second.
Right.
If the Baltimore loses, not the Ravens, the Steelers and Browns are playing for first place of the division going into Thanksgiving. That is just the wildest fucking shit, because both teams have had poor offensive play all season long. It shows that defense can still win your games. I'm happy about this. I'm a defensive guy.
Yeah, the AFC North is just like living in like an NFL Films 1970s documentary or something with like that old school music playing, like the
Fumble.
TJ Watt takes the ball out. The steel curtain.
It is a wild time, but into the predictions. Let's preview this Bengals-Ravens game. You got 2 teams coming off of last-second losses. One almost came back to win. One blew a 14-point lead.
You know what's crazy?
Who you taking in this?
What was crazy is I was at that Ravens Browns game. First row, right behind the bench. I could literally hear the players talking, which is insane. There there was a guy
What
behind.
the fuck are we doing?
Yeah, Mark Andrews was losing his mind at one point, like losing his mind.
Yeah.
So anyway, there's a guy behind me, and he was sitting, and they showed the Bengals it was like 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and the Texans had taken the lead, and he was like, "Dude, that is so huge. If Cincy drops a game on, before Thursday night," and then it was just like, oh, and then the Ravens dropped the game.
You don't know where this game's going,
yeah,
Sonny.
Exactly. I was like, brother, they dropped the game too. But this is tough, man. Baltimore should really win. I feel like it's a game.
Think about this, but if Baltimore loses this, Cincy wins, and if everyone's still the same record when we hit the bye, Baltimore would be in last place, and that would be beautiful. But
that'd be insane because they've probably played the best out of everybody in the division. That's the crazy part.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I think the Ravens are just they seem to always be this team that misuses players, and right now, I think it's very clear that kid Keaton Mitchell, the running back that they have, is explosive and a game changer. They need to get him more touches. I felt like in the second half, they completely went away from him. They were going with Gus Edwards more. And it's one of those things where I feel like smart teams realize these kind of game-wrecking players and give them the ball more. And it's if you want to be able to kind of maximize Lamar, you have to get that running game really chugging. And you can have a lot of these different kind of misdirection plays, and he's the kind of guy that I feel like perfectly matches what you want to do with Lamar. So they need to kind of use him more. I think, like I said, Baltimore should win this game. I think Baltimore needs to win this game. You're playing Cincinnati at home. You can't drop 2 divisional games in a row at home. You can't do that. Especially in that division. I'm going to say Baltimore wins this thing 31-28.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with my take that the Ravens are the Cowboys of the AFC. they get rolling. They're pumping teams down. And next thing you know, they lose a game they shouldn't have lost. I know the Browns are decent this year, and their defense has been 1A to 1B to Baltimore's 1A going into this game. But you got a 14-point lead, and guess what happens again? The Ravens blow it once again in the fourth quarter. Actually, their 6th time since last season, which is tied for the most in the NFL. They've had 6 blown leads in the fourth quarter, and that is ridiculous, especially when you're supposed to be a top-tier team like Baltimore. They just don't know how to close games out sometimes, especially against higher-end talent.
It's been the problem with them for 4 years. It's just not being able to close out games.
Yeah, since Lamar's been there. But I'm rolling with the Bengals. I always pick against Baltimore. The Bengals are winning this. It's going to be a close one. It's going to be a fun one. This should be one of the most electric Thursday nights games we probably have all year, especially with Baltimore doing the blackout. If Cincinnati goes all white, we'll have just the most elite fucking jersey combo on the field at one time. Yeah. So I'm going with the Bengals to win. Let's go. I feel like defense is going to play a little bit more into this than usual. I'm going to go 27-24 Bengals.
Yeah, I could see either way. It's going to come down to the last possession. I just don't think. Yeah, I don't see Baltimore losing 2 divisional games at home in a row. And depending on how I'm feeling as far as how my bets go tonight, which is not looking great, I was thinking about trying to get tickets for the game tomorrow because that's going to be that environment's going to be sick. But
yeah, it is.
Like I said, the bets aren't looking great right now.
Going.
Oh, really?
Low. Yeah, her dad has season tickets, so I think she's tagging along tomorrow. And I was like, "That's a fucking elite game."
Yeah, that's awesome. Dude, it's gonna be. I was
Yeah.
saying this to my brother. I was like, this week coming up this is like my favorite week of the year, Thanksgiving week, because I work
Mm-hmm.
like you work like 1 day a week, 1 day, and then you're done. Wednesday night
Yeah.
before Thanksgiving is always electric. Monday night
I'm home
football.
Friday night.
I know it's gonna. Oh, you're coming tomorrow or Friday night?
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
absolutely.
But you have that Monday night game. Eagles Chiefs is gonna be insane. Gonna be a really good game.
Wild.
Sunday, me and the lady are going to Commanders Giants, which should be a Commanders win, but you know
Should
what the
be a
Commanders
dub.
do. Yeah.
Should keep Sam Howell on top of the passing leaders
Yeah.
too, I would say.
And then on Sunday, 5 o'clock. Actually, you can come to this if you're interested. McDonough is playing in the MIAA championship against Archbishop Spalding.
I'll come
Good
if I'm allowed
old-fashioned.
to announce the game.
We'll see what we can do. We'll hide. It's down at Towson Stadium, so it'll be down in Logan's neck of the woods
tell
there.
McDonough to sub me in. Yeah.
Yeah, we're like, let the professional into the booth here. So yeah, it's a big week though. I mean, you gotta just love this week. And then, of course, Thursday we got the cousin football game. Me and Ryan are amped up for that one. We're gonna have a little walk. We're gonna have a walk through Monday afternoon. Me and him just kind of run through some plays that we're gonna be going through, and then we'll be ready to go.
Is this like super serious cousin football game? Like, is this like a yearly? Like, we
play every year, but this year it's like this year we're getting a little bit more intense because number one, our cousins on the other side are older now, so they can kind of handle themselves.
Dang.
Yeah, and so that's what we're going for. But we'll see what happens. Legit. But yeah, big week.
Sounds legit.
And then, but yeah, tomorrow night's a huge game. Before we get too off topic,
no, tomorrow night's massive. Could flip the whole division upside down.
Yeah.
Which is...
Let's just have dead air for the rest of the episode.
It's the best division in football, but it's also the worst division to be a part of. That's my new thing about the AFC North. You don't want to be in it, but it is the best division in football.
It's the best division in football, and also just the most ugly looking. Like just watching it is just insane.
We'll take you back to the 70s any weekend. You thought you knew Back to the Future? Just watch the fucking Steelers play. That's the real Back to the Future.
Yeah. Dude, how about those Sam Howell's play the past 3 weeks? This man is like my favorite part about like
he's been performing.
Yeah. Number one in passing yards. First quarterback, I think he has like over 2,000 passing yards, and he has like over 200 like rushing yards or something in his first 11 games. Yeah. And he's like the first quarterback to do that in Washington history. But dude, he's just like a baller. And it's like one of those things where like I feel people like constantly like people like with young quarterbacks like that. Obviously, I guess this kind of happens just as you get better, but the goalpost is always moving. And it's like I feel like people with the inevitability that like the Commanders are going to go through probably a full regime change next year. I see a lot of people who are like, well, they're going to do what they want. Like if they want to get another rookie quarterback in this draft, then they will. And to me, I'm like, are you watching him like at all? Like he's doing everything that you want. Like every single week he's getting better. The sack problem was enormous, and that has been like completely kind of, for the most part, knock on wood, has been cured. Like, I mean, he's taken, I think, 7 sacks in the past 3 weeks when he was on pace to have like 100 sacks for the season or something like that. And he's really taken that down. But like I said, dude, he will get votes for Offensive Player of the Year if he keeps up at this pace. I'm not saying he will, but if he keeps playing like this, he will be in consideration for that. But it's probably going to go to AJ
I know you
Brown.
got him in the MVP. I know you got him in the MVP combo too now. After you said earlier.
Not for like him being like MVP caliber, but because he has because of the lack of competition there has been this year, and also the fact that he is the leading passer in the NFL right now.
Yeah,
you got to take it into consideration.
I mean, hey, he's been balling out in the recent weeks, but 3 weeks is solid. If he can continue it for the rest of the year, you got your guy. Like for sure. If he does it most of the time through the rest of the year, you got your guy. But if it's still up and down,
yeah, you see what happens.
I don't know if I'm fully on board yet, but I have been impressed recently. My guy Kenny P still looking like ass trash, but it's all good. We're somehow winning, somehow still rolling. But that offense is still a shit show. I mean, the good news about the past couple weeks is that we've scored early for the first time in years, it feels like. We've scored on our opening drive the past 2 weeks. And actually, the play calling those first couple drives have not been completely shite balls. And that is why it is working. And our run game's actually getting going. Jaylen Warren, the rotation of Jaylen Warren and Najee Harris, I feel like could be a deadly duo. Najee's finally starting to turn up field more instead of trying to bounce it out wide. He finally learned that he is a big bruising back who should use his shoulders instead of his feet, you know?
Not running like he has jeans on.
That pass game, though. We still got to develop. Me and this dude were talking about this earlier. We're throwing too many out routes. I don't understand. That's like the hardest route for a quarterback to connect on, and we're throwing most of our routes are out routes. Like, it's so
also
terrible.
Just a dead route. Like it's like there's very little yards after catch like opportunity on those plays. Like just slants, man. People overthink things. Slants 90% of the time are effective. When you have a fast receiver, slant them to death.
I'm a firm believer also that I'm fine with check down Kenny at this point. Mm-hmm. Tom Brady was check down Tom for the longest time, but he was winning reigns. Kenny, I know we like these out routes, but let's try getting some 5-yard ins, some slants, some seams. We limit ourselves on offense like in the past game because we're like, hey, the numbers and out wide. That's about it. That's where we're throwing the ball.
The Matt Canada special.
Yeah, the Matt Canada special. He's like, it opens up the run game. No,
we got to open up the middle of the field. All right. And then we're going to have a big pass to Pat Fryermuth when he comes back.
Exactly. We're dialing it up for Pat. I hope so.
Exactly. All right. Do we have anything else we want to add this week?
Big fight last night. Golden State.
That's right.
Timberwolves. Draymond Green
insane, dude.
Hit him with the.
This is the first time too where I feel like people have been like, "Are we ever going to talk about how Draymond is just like doing this, like out of nowhere, like all the time? Like he's just like a." And Steve Kerr never addresses it. Like I guess he can't because then Draymond will be like, "What the hell?" But.
Man,
like there was no. Why is it always Rudy Gobert? Everybody fucking hates Rudy Gobert.
No, maybe Rudy's an asshole or something. Maybe Rudy's
they're mad at him. They're mad at him because of that COVID thing. Remember, he had COVID. He touched all the mics and everything. But yeah, it was a big fight.
Tested positive.
Anthony Edwards, the fucking truth, man. Because it's like, did you see that the night before or 2 nights before? Draymond was talking shit to him, and Draymond was like, "You're not tough. You're not tough." And Anthony Edwards was like, "Nobody care about you, bruh." He was like, and then went on to win the game for them. And it was like, he's like, I think a lot of people compare him to Michael Jordan because he kind of looks like Michael Jordan. But he is definitely, I think, a future top 5 player. The dude's only like 22 years old. Sure. Like, he's ridiculous.
He is ridiculous. And he seems pretty clutch. I'm not a fan of how, I mean, we do it in every sport, but I try to limit it. Just jump into the all-time greats on comparisons. Like, yeah. I said, that's a little too fast.
He looks like him, so I think that's why a lot of people think
Yeah. But then you get Wemby, and people are like, "That's the Nets fucking guy."
Yeah,
That's the best
like,
of all
relax.
time already.
Yeah, he had that 135-point performance or whatever. People were like, "We've never seen this before." Meanwhile, Joel Embiid's like dropping 35 a night basically, and is in contention to be one of the best scorers ever because he's been doing it for like 4 years now. Can't do it in the playoffs though for some reason, but we still.
It's the trust process.
Yeah. Sixers playing the Celtics right now. It's a big game, battle for first place in the East. Celtics are winning 83-75 right now going into the fourth. Sixers are coming off a back-to-back. Have you been keeping up with this Kelly Oubre story at all?
Yeah, didn't he get hit by a car or something?
Well, that's the thing is, so
is that fake news?
So the story was he said he got hit by a car, and the Philadelphia Police Department has come out and said that they cannot find footage from where he said he got hit. They cannot find footage of him getting hit there. Now, how he got hit kind of sounds suspect. He says that the passenger or the driver's side, like what do you call it? The driver's side view mirror hit him. The side view mirror, he said, hit him in the chest. And like when I was hearing this story, I was like, how is this? But it's like, why are you lying about this? Like, why are you lying? Why would you lie about how you gotten hurt? So
that is oddly specific.
Yeah. And then you can't remember what street it was on, but you got to give him the benefit of the doubt, I guess, until further notice. But definitely a weird.
Innocent till proven guilty.
Yeah, it's definitely a weird story.
It's fucking America.
Yeah, like I don't even know like if was he somewhere he wasn't supposed to be? Was he cheating or something? And then,
he was like, I got hit by a car, guys.
I don't know what happened, but yeah, it's weird.
Practice, I got hit.
Yeah, I got hit by a car.
Now it's like fuck.
He has like broken ribs though. Like so, whatever it was like a big shot. So I don't know.
What if it was just he like slept? What if it was like he just slept with a fat bitch or something?
Yeah, he got flattened. And Dwight Howard. Just kidding. Let's go ahead. We'll end it with that. We will see you guys on either tomorrow or Friday. One of those. Every time we say that, we end up doing it like Saturday at 2 in the morning. So
we should aim for tomorrow because I will be flying home Friday.
Or do we do a live cast this weekend?
We could try to get a live cast going this weekend.
We shall see. To be determined. Maybe we'll be in the same room. We'll have to figure out the logistics on that. And then
yes, we would.
Yeah. All right, my friend. I will see you later. We will get on the Fortnite. We'll be streaming it on Twitch.
Let's hop on.
The PCFP Fortnite cast
/Ninja.
Yeah. Casual Fortcast. Professional Casual Fortcast. Exactly. Tyler Ninja Blevins. All right. Adios.
That's our name. Peace.